Hey, it's Carl, and I want to welcome you to today's broadcast. Today, our topic is attracting more customers online. So, these are tips for successful digital marketing for your business. And when we talk about this idea of attracting more customers, I really want to focus on that because we're familiar with the idea of push or interruption advertising. That's what you get on television. I'm sitting there watching my favorite TV show, and the advertising just interrupts my programming, and I'm hit with a message, and then we go back to the programming. Now, I may or may not be the appropriate audience for that particular advertisement. On the reverse side, you have what's called attraction marketing or inbound marketing, where you are attracting the right type of prospect to you because what you are engaging them with meets a felt need or an affinity for them, and so they want to know more. You're simply moving in a direction with them that they are already moving. And so that brings us to our first point. You want to understand your target audience. What makes those individuals tick? What are their biggest fears? What are their dreams? What are their aspirations? What are the things that they are struggling with? What are their hobbies? What do they do for leisure time? What does their family look like? Where do they live? What kind of car do they drive? What kind of work do they do? Are they blue collar? Are they white collar? Are they upper management? Are they middle management? Are they in a service industry? There's a multitude of what we would call demographic target points that we want to try and really get a good understanding of. So, one of the things that I want to encourage you to do is spend some time, take a notebook, and write out who is your ideal customer. And let me give you an example of what this might look like. My ideal customer is John. John is 45 years of age. He has two children. One is starting high school this year. The other one is a seventh grader. John has been married to his wife for 15 years. They live in the suburbs. They have two vehicles. They have payments on both vehicles. They have lived in their current home for approximately 5 years. He is a middle manager for a local bank. He earns about $80,000 a year plus benefits. His wife is a school teacher. They are very involved in their kids' activities, primarily youth soccer and youth basketball. They also attend church and they go on Sundays. Things we want to know about them: when they vacation, they tend to go see family 2 states away. They typically will do one of those trips at some point during the summer, and they may do one of those trips at Thanksgiving or Christmas. Now, what we've done is we've started to develop a profile. We can take that even a little further. He likes classic rock. He prefers action movies. His favorite hobby is fishing and golf. So we can push deeper into this target audience avatar, this understanding of who they are. So that's one of the things I want you to begin to write down. We could even get into the kind of vehicles they drive, their political affiliations. There's a lot of things we could tap into that's going to give us a better understanding of that audience. And so part of the way we do that is we do market research. We ask good questions. We can put surveys out in the marketplace. If you've been in business for a while, the easiest thing to do is look at the majority of your customers and what are the commonalities in those customers. Second thing that you want to do is you want to create a strong online presence. And here's what I mean by that. I'm going to give you the example of Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola presence is inescapable. You see it in the grocery store. You see it on signs driving down the road. You see it on television. You see it at sporting events. You see it at restaurants. You see it on cups. You see it on people's clothing. You are bombarded by their presence on a regular basis. And so, in that, what you want to create is an environment where you become inescapable. I like to call this your ecosystem. You want to develop a strong ecosystem, and an ecosystem that is hard to get away from, meaning that no matter where your best prospect goes, they're going to encounter your online presence in any of those locations. So if they're on YouTube watching videos, they're going to encounter you. If they're on Facebook seeing what's going on with friends and family, they're going to encounter you. If they're on Instagram, they're going to encounter you. They're going to encounter you when they do searches for things within your services. You want to become inescapable. So, a couple of things we want to look at in developing this strong online presence. First of all, remember that your website and your Google business profile really are the center of your online universe. So everything you do is going to anchor into those two locations. It's going to push people there. And then from those locations, you're going to push people into things like your social media, your landing pages, your videos, your content, all of those types of things. So here's what we need to remember. Having a website is simply not enough. Because if you don't optimize that website for search engines, nobody's going to find you. You know, some business owners make the mistake of the old movie Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. Well, that's not necessarily true. A lot of people have built websites that nobody ever sees. And so search engine optimization has to be a key component in your visibility. And when we talk search engine optimization today, it's more than just, I want to rank well in Google searches. Because the truth is, there are multiple facets of even a Google search. There's traditional Google search. There's Google mobile search. There's Google local search, Google Maps, and then voice engine optimization when somebody is using their assistant verbally to help them do that search. And you have to optimize for each and every one of those unique environments within the search realm. And so by doing good search engine optimization, what you're going to do is you're going to raise the awareness and the visibility of your brand. And that all begins with just doing good keyword research. Those people that we were just talking about who are going to be your best customers, what are the types of things that they are searching for? You need to take some time and figure that out. Develop a good keyword list in your marketplace. What are the things that local people are searching for that are going to drive them to your doorstep? And so when you're looking at keywords, you need to take into consideration a couple things. The amount of traffic, number one. Is there a sufficient amount of traffic? Obviously, you could rank for some highly obscure keyword that nobody's ever going to search for, and that's not going to do you any good. So you do want to rank for keywords that have a decent amount of traffic, and you want the competition to not be outrageous. What I mean by that is if you're on page 10 and you're trying to get in front of 125 other competitors, it's going to be a long process. So better to find some terms that maybe don't have quite as much competition, but still have decent search volume. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to use what are called long tail keywords. And those just give a little more intent behind the keyword. And so when you use words like reviews, pricing, complaints. Those are terms that buyers use in their decision-making process, and those are the types of terms you can be leaning in as well. The next thing about search engine optimization that you need to really take in mind is mobile responsiveness. One of the things that the search engines are really looking at is how well does your website display on a mobile device? How quickly does it load? How well does it display? Is it easy to use? Is it easy to navigate? All of those types of criteria are taken into account. And so that means a mobile friendly website has to be of top priority for you in your website search engine optimization process. The other thing that's very key in today's world is your website has to be fast. It has to load fast. So you need to do speed tests on your website from time to time. And if you find that you're not loading fast, then there may be some adjustments you need to make. You may need to change your hosting environment, or you may need to update your website altogether, make it more lightweight, more efficient, so that it operates fast. Next thing you want to consider is creating an effective content marketing strategy. So you know who your target audience is, you know who those best prospects are for you. Now you need to start to give them the information, the things that they are looking for, and this is where your content marketing strategy comes into place. And so what you want to do is you want to create content that is interesting, that is going to draw that prospect to you. It's going to answer questions that they may have. And in fact, that's one of the best types of content you can create, is anything that starts with how to is always a great piece of content. Anything that teaches an idea, a concept, makes life easier, or gives some good information is always to your advantage. You can do that through infographics. You can do that through videos. You can do that through blog posts. Ideally, you want to use all of the above because different people engage with different modalities. I personally prefer video and I prefer audio. So if I had the choice of watching a video or reading a book, I'm going to watch the video. When I read books, I listen to audiobooks. So that is my modality of taking in information. I don't have a lot of time to sit and turn pages anymore, so I may not read an article unless it's super compelling on something that I'm really interested in. So ideally, what I always recommend that you do is you repurpose your content. So one of my favorite things to do is to create a video and then take that video and transcribe it, turn that transcription into a blog post or a piece of social media content, and then also create some type of infographic around that video. So basically I can knock out 3 different modalities of marketing through content using one primary piece of content. The other thing we can do is we can cut that video into small bite-sized segments and put those out on our social media as well. That being said, we want to get to social media marketing, and here's one of the things you have to remember is, especially post-pandemic, social media is the way a lot of people collect their information, get their data to make their decisions. And so it's important that you leverage social media channels. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter can all be used. The big ones that are of most value to you as a small business owner are going to be Facebook and Instagram, and then LinkedIn as well. And so you need to learn how to use those platforms to create engaging content, how to communicate with your prospective audience, to get them interested in the things that you offer, to demonstrate your expertise. Remember, people want to work with the best of the best. And so the more you can demonstrate your capabilities and your expertise, the further along you're always going to be. But in the middle of that too, don't keep it all business. Let people get to know you as the person. because we do business with those we know, like, and trust. Even your business, even your company, your agency is going to have its own unique personality, and you want to bring out the personality of your business. And the other thing about that is people also make decisions first based on emotion, and then they back it up with logic. So use elements that are going to stir the emotion. Use humor. Use cute pictures. I often tell clients that every now and then you need to mix in cute puppies, kittens, babies, and funny, humorous, nonsensical stuff, because that's what people like and click. And that's the kind of stuff they share as well. So don't forget the power of social media marketing. And remember, the real power of social media marketing is once you create raving fans for yourself, they will start to tag others on social media to make them aware of what it is you're doing. You find this a lot in the local groups, the marketplace postings on Facebook, where people will ask the question, who should I call for this type of service? And people will just start naming names. They'll start dropping links to their favorite provider. You want to be in the middle of that conversation. You want to have the opportunity to present yourself. The next component of this digital marketing universe that you're creating is your paid advertising. And where you're going to use your paid advertising is to really make up for the places where you're not ranking organically, number one, and then also to add top end or extra territory to your visibility. You have to remember, in SEO today, the search engines are really moving to a more location-centric search result. And so if I'm in the middle of a large city, I may rank really well in a 2 to 3 mile radius, but find that I don't rank at all on the other side of the city. Paid advertising is what's going to help you bridge that gap. It's what's going to help you expand into new territory. It's going to allow you to test new ideas, new concepts, new landing pages, all of those types of things. And it is a way to increase the amount of lead flow that you get on a day-to-day basis. Of course, most people are familiar with Google AdWords, that is the Google search ads, but then there is also the Microsoft Ad Network, which is Bing, Yahoo, Verizon Mobile, AOL. Both of these search networks are heavily used. You tend to get better pricing from the Microsoft Ad Network, but most of the time you're going to get a better result from the Google search ads. However, understand there's more competition with Google Ads, and therefore the pricing is going to be higher per click generally. Not always, but most of the time. Now, what you want to make sure of with your paid advertising is that you are getting a positive return on investment. And here's what I mean by that. For every dollar you spend on advertising, you should be aiming to get $2 in return, $3 in return, $4 in return. You want to push that multiple of return as much as you can. And so part of the way that you do that is, number one, you choose the right keywords. You want to A/B test your landing pages, which means that you want to compare the one with the blue text to the one with the red text, or the one with the picture of the sunset in the background to the one that doesn't have the sunset in the background. You're going to compare all of those variables, change up headlines, change up wording, change up the call to action, where the buttons are, what color they are. All of those things go in it, because what you're trying to do is move that conversion number higher and higher and higher. The higher you can get that landing page to convert, the better those ads are going to perform. Now, once you've generated leads, the next thing you want to consider is email marketing campaigns. Email is still alive and well. On top of email, you could consider a text marketing campaign, but let's stick with email, because the old saying is the money is in the list, and that saying holds true today. As a business owner, you want to keep building your prospect list. Some will be ready now, some won't. Some will buy from you at some point, some won't. Doesn't matter. You want to continue to be in their face. And this is back to creating that universe. We want them to see you when they're on Facebook, when they're on Instagram, when they're doing searches, when they're on YouTube, and we'd love for you to be in their email inbox as well. Now, a successful email marketing campaign should be targeted to the right audience. You're going to want to segment your email list based on the types of services that somebody is searching for or the platform that brought them to you, so that you can gear specific messages towards specific audiences. You want to segment by those who open your emails, by those who click on links, all of those types of things. There are some things that you can do with automation based on the behavior of the subscriber, which is going to make things that much more effective. So anytime you create a piece of content, one of the easiest ways to grow your list is simply to have some type of offer that a person can receive if they will simply enter their email address. So a couple of my favorite offers that I love to use is I love to give away information. Here's a checklist, here's an ebook. The other thing we like to do is some kind of special offer. Subscribe now and we'll give you this particular offer for free. Maybe that's a free consultation, maybe that's some type of free low-end service, doesn't matter what it is. And then in that follow-up sequence, what you want to do is you want to offer a lot of value, and then you want to put calls to action in there. And then every so often you want to have just a straight sales email that goes out. Again, my preference is a lot of valuable information with a call to action at the bottom. If you happen to be on our email subscriber list, one of the things you'll see is every email has a simple call to action. Click here to schedule your free strategy session, because that's what I want to do. I want to have a conversation with the prospect, but I'm giving them a lot of information. In fact, what I'm doing with my content, this is one of the ways that I repurpose it. Every video I create becomes an email in the follow-up sequence. Hey, here's an email on this particular topic. Click here to watch it now. And if you'd like to schedule a complimentary strategy session, you can do that at the link below. Regards, Carl. Very simple formula, very passive sales approach, but it works effectively well. Nobody feels like I'm cramming anything down their throat. I'm not begging them to do business with us, because truthfully, we want to screen our prospects just as much as they want to screen us. But what it does is it shows our expertise. And so it makes the sales process so much easier. I would much rather have a prospect who has been in our email sequence for the last 6 months, who reaches out and calls, because they already know who I am. They already know what our company is about. They already know the kinds of things that we do. They've seen testimonials. They've gotten to research us. They've seen the value that we bring. And so it's a much easier sales process. And so one of the things you're going to want to do when you do your email marketing is you do want to track the performance of your email campaigns. Look at what emails get opened, what headlines seem to get higher open rates, what emails are getting more clicks. Here's the reason for that. If you see certain topics are getting more traction, more activity than others, then you can go back and create more content about those particular topics. It's just a way of working smarter, not harder. Next thing we want to get into, use those online reviews and testimonials. Do case studies. If you've got customers that will do video with you, by all means have them do a video testimonial. Video is such a powerful driver. But at the very least, make sure you're getting those online reviews. And we always recommend that you get those on Google and on Facebook. Those two are really the two power positions in the review universe. Some things that you can do to attract more reviews: use QR codes on your billing, put QR codes on your business cards, put QR codes on your signage that direct people to leave a review. And simply, anytime you're face to face with somebody and they're happy, ask, hey, would you mind leaving us a review and sharing your experience with us? Now, one thing about those reviews and those testimonials, you really want the individual to talk about the services that they've been using with you. We want them to use those rich keywords that we want in the searches as part of that review. And so we don't want them just to say great service. We want them to talk about what that service was. We don't want them to just say they've got the best team in the world. We want them to talk about how they know that. So we always encourage you to give a little coaching to your customers, that they leave a couple of sentences, a paragraph, to talk a little bit about their experience with you. You also want to make sure that you are measuring everything. So use analytics and data to guide you. When we work with clients, we are very much a data-driven marketing company. And so one of the things that we do is we look at the analytics. What is the data telling us? What's happening in the marketplace? What's happening in the way people are making their buying decisions? What are the things that they're more actively looking for, so that we can put forth a much better marketing message to those prospects? And then finally, you want to stay up to date with industry trends. You need to know what's going on in your industry, whether you're in groups online, whether you're reading articles within your industry, watching YouTube videos. I don't care what you're doing, but stay up to date on trends. Biggest trend right now that everybody needs to be educating themselves on is the use of AI. Here recently we did a video, and I encourage you to check it out on our channel, on how to use AI in your marketing to grow your business. So anyway, these are just some tips for you, a basic overview of how to really create a full attraction marketing, inbound marketing model to attract more customers online, and really to do that magnetically. I hope you found these tips helpful, and if you like what you heard, be sure and share this with somebody you know, and we'll look forward to talking with you in the next episode.